10 cancer-causing foods you should never put in your mouth again. Leave us a comment after watching this video. It's most likely not something you consider consistently, regardless of whether the nourishments you are eating could contain cancer-causing agents, yet with very nearly 1.5 million individuals determined to have some sort of disease simply a year ago, maybe it's a great opportunity to take a gander at what is in our sustenance that could be creating such an enormous number of new tumor patients. Here is a top rundown 10 of nourishment that you in all likelihood expend consistently that may contain cancer-causing agents or be associated with bringing about malignancy. 1. Microwave popcorn. Those little packs of popcorn are so advantageous to simply stick in the microwave, you wouldn't think for a moment that they could be perilous to your well-being, yet they are. Initially, we should discuss the sack itself. As per Wikipedia, traditional microwave popcorn packs are lined with a substance called perfluorooctanoic corrosive, PFOA. This is a poison you can discover in Teflon too. As per a late learn at the University of California, PFOA is connected to fruitlessness in ladies. Various studies in lab creatures and people demonstrate that introduction to PFOA altogether builds the danger of kidney, bladder, liver, pancreas, and testicular malignancies. You can read more about this substance in the aforementioned learns at cancer.org. Presently, we should discuss the substance. Albeit each producer uses marginally diverse fixings, the majority of them utilization soybean oil, a GMO item, and different additives, for example, propyl gallate, a substance that is reasons stomach issues and skin rashes. Presently they don't really say they are utilizing GMO corn pieces, yet that is on account of the legislature says they don't need to. Regardless of the fact that they don't utilize GMO corn, you can wager they aren't utilizing natural corn. Likewise, connected to the popcorn itself, is a synthetic called diacetyl. Utilization of this concoction created ConAgra Foods to expel it from their image of popcorn act, in light of the fact that it was bringing on lung ailments in the laborers at their production line. 2. Pop. Maybe you caught wind of the late study that was distributed in May in the American Journal of Nutrition. It found that individuals who devoured more than one pop for every day had a higher danger of stroke than individuals who did not drink soft drinks. Stacked with sugar, soft drinks are a vacant wellspring of calories that cause weight pickup and add to the across-the-country plague of stoutness. Drinking a lot of this quickly processed sugar causes your glucose to spike, which can prompt both irritation and insulin resistance. Pop is regularly the main driver of gastroesophageal reflux malady, which is the point at which the stomach's substance spill into the throat, bringing on torment as well as a real smoldering of the throat from stomach corrosive. 3. Canned tomatoes. Really, most canned sustenance options are a worry in light of what the can is lined with. The coating of every single canned nourishment are made with a compound called bisphenolin, or BPA. A study distributed in May of 2013 by the National's Proceeding Academy of Sciences demonstrated that BPA really influences the way qualities work inside the cerebrum of rats. Indeed, even the FDA concurs that there is an issue with BPA, as it is supporting endeavors to either supplant or at any rate, to minimize the sums found in canned nourishment. You know it must be terrible when even the extremely remiss FDA is concerned. 4. Processed meats. What precisely are handled meats? This is a not insignificant rundown that incorporates, however is not constrained to, frankfurters, wieners, bacon, most lunch meats like bologna or pimento chunk. Scientists who wrote in the Diary of BMC Medicine said that the exorbitant salts and chemicals that are utilized when making prepared meats are harming to your well-being. The study demonstrated that 1 in each 17 individuals who were included in the study kicked the bucket, and the individuals who ate 160 grams or a greater amount of prepared meats expanded their danger of right-on-time demise as much as 44% inside of 12 years rather than the individuals who ate 20 grams or less. This study included individuals from 10 European nations and continued for right around 13 years. 5. Farmed salmon. Although fish sounds like one of the healthiest foods possible, farmed salmon is one you should avoid. Unfortunately, more than 60% of the salmon consumed in the USA is farm-raised. These fish are fed unnatural diets and are contaminated with chemicals, antibiotics, pesticides, and other known carcinogens. They live in very crowded conditions, which results in these fish having 30 times the number of sea lice than wild salmon. Doesn't that sound appetizing? Farmed salmon are fed chemicals to make their meat that reddish-pink color that should occur naturally but doesn't because of the diet of chicken litter that they are fed. 6. Potato chips. Yes, we know, potato chips are shabby, extraordinary tasting, brisk nibble. Be that as it may, the negative impacts they have on your body may not be justified regardless of the tad bit of joy you get from these firm snacks. Potato chips are high in both fat and calories, which are certain to bring on weight pickup. A study done in the New England Journal of Prescription observed that eating only 1 ounce of potato chips every day brought on a normal 2-pound weight pickup in 1 year. Other than being brimming with trans fats which can bring about elevated cholesterol in the vast majority, they have inordinate sodium levels which, for some individuals, cause hypertension. 7. Processed white flours. The majority of you have officially heard at this point that white flour is not something worth being thankful for, but rather you in all likelihood have no clue exactly how terrible it truly is for your well-being. Refining grains crushes its characteristic supplements. Factories are no more substance with sitting tight for their flour to brighten with time. Processes now dye flour with a compound called chlorine gas. The EPA states that chlorine gas is a hazardous aggravation that is not protected to breathe in and in extensive amounts can be deadly. White flour sneaks in numerous handled nourishments. White handled flour has a high glycemic rate which rapidly raises the glucose level and insulin levels, which can be an immediate reason for diabetes. Also, it is trusted that it spreads disease cells by bolstering the phones specifically. Destructive tumors sustain basically on the sugars in your circulation system. By keeping away from refined grains, for example, white flour, you can evade, or at any rate, starve tumors. 8. GMOs. Genetically modified organisms, all the more ordinarily called GMOs, are nourishments that have been adjusted by chemicals and developed with chemicals. In a study done by Dr. Pusta at the Rowett Institute in Scotland, rats were encouraged GMO nourishments, particularly potatoes. All rats indicated harmed in vulnerable frameworks, pre-dangerous cell developments, alongside littler brains and livers, in simply the initial 10 days of the undertaking. American purchasers trust that the FDA has sanctioned these GMO sustenances, and this is essentially not the situation. The FDA has no testing strategies for GMO sustenances, none. The main human study distributed demonstrated that those remote qualities that are available in GM sustenance exchange to the DNA in the microorganisms in our digestive frameworks. We, the American shopper, are the guinea pig, or rodent, for this situation. Shockingly, all grains, including soybeans, wheat, and corn, have been developed through GMOs. 9. Refined sugars. Refined sugars are known to give a boost to insulin levels, as well as to be the most best sustenance for malignancy cells, accordingly advancing their development. Diseases appear to have a sweet tooth. This is a known truth that has been around for a long time. The Nobel laureate in prescription, German Otto Warburg, in 1931, initially found that tumors and malignancies both utilization sugars to sustain themselves and/or to increment in size. Keeping in mind the end goal to multiply, disease cells appear to lean toward bolstering on fructose-rich sweeteners like high fructose corn syrup, HFCS. The reason is that HFCS is being metabolized by growth cells most rapidly and effortlessly. Presently it is clear why high fructose corn syrup is viewed as the most exceedingly bad wrongdoer. Furthermore, since cakes, pies, treats, soft drinks, juices, sauces, grains, and numerous other greatly well-known, for the most part prepared, nourishment things are stacked with refined sugars and HFCS specifically, this aids clarify why disease rates are on the ascent nowadays. 10. Artificial sweeteners. The vast majority use manufactured sweeteners to either get more fit or on the grounds that they are diabetic and must stay away from sugar. The fundamental issue in this is that various studies show individuals who devour counterfeit sweeteners all the time, for example, in soft drinks, or espresso sweeteners, really put on weight. It likewise little or nothing to help those with diabetes. Truth be told, manufactured sweeteners really make it considerably more hard to control their glucose levels and exacerbate conditions that are identified with diabetes, for example, waterfalls and gastroparesis. Here and there aspartame has been found to bring about shakings, which a few individuals will confuse for an insulin response. If you have a question, please, let us a comment and we will try to answer you as soon as possible. Share this video and subscribe to our channel. Visit us on greatlifeandmore.com.